Oh man, we got some new upgrades to the Xbox and a lot more going on. Let's get into it. What is going on, guys? Dealer back again with yet another video talking about, well, everything that's happened up to this point that I felt like it was interesting that I could talk about because, hey, everybody needs to be entertained at least a little bit. And today we're talking about the Xbox dashboard as well as much more. So, as always, if you end up enjoying this video, maybe subscribe, hit the like button, tell a friend, and of course, you guys are awesome. Let's get into it. Oh, here's a really fast one that's so common sense it will blow your face off the back of your head like the guy in the last video, right? PlayStation bringing PS5 games to PlayStation Now. What a shocker. What a news outlet to be shocked by this when everybody and their mom knew this was happening. I just want to throw this out there. What a game changer, according to some that were criticizing Microsoft for bringing their games to all devices. What a game changer for Sony to do the same thing. Next. Hey, one part of the Xbox dashboard updates that we're talking about today is for those of you that are insiders. You're insiders, and you called it. It's 4K dashboard time for those of you on the Inside program. And, hey, what else can we say? They did confirm this does not affect game performance, and if that's the case, if they're not reducing the amount of RAM available to developers like they had to have done with the 2017 Xbox One X, if you do recall, they were originally going to have a 4K dash on that box. Developers would have only had 8 gigs of GDDR5, not 9. So developers pushed back, and Microsoft gave those guys the RAM for games that they wanted, and that's what they should do. This apparently will not affect game RAM. This is a re-optimization of the OS that does free up enough resources for the console to effectively utilize 4K rendering on the dashboard while enabling developers to have the same access to the same memory bandwidth and the same amount of RAM as before. And big shout out to Nano Polymaster sending me some of this stuff because, it really helps out quite a bit. Seriously, a lot of you guys reach out and, for everyone sending me these articles and stuff, big shout out. Hey, another big announcement that's kind of weird is the fact that Epic Game Store is coming to the Windows Store. Yes, you'll be able to actually purchase Epic Game Store games through the Windows Store. And for a guy that hated Microsoft so much not long ago, Tim Sweeney, he seems pretty happy about this. So that's good news, I suppose. Every Tuesday we have a really good discussion about everything that's happening in gaming on my podcast. I'll link it down below. This was hilarious. I got to give a shout out to Nano Polymath for sending this to me, as well as a lot of these topics. This picture is so stupid. And it does feature a lot of my friends as well as members of the RDX podcast and Little Fonzarelli as Patrick Starr. Anyway, that was largely revolving our discussion on a lot of the stupidity that was seen over the past couple days regarding Microsoft's acquisitions and, of course, Crystal Dynamics. Square Enix adding Avengers to Game Pass shortly after Crystal Dynamics confirmed to be helping the initiative with, the game. Now, of course, there are rumblings that this was the plan the whole time, that Crystal Dynamics was supposed to go help these guys with the title when the base team of 70 or so nailed everything down, and Crystal Dynamics now helping the initiative build out Perfect Dark. Now that the plans for the submarine sandwich is done, they know what kind of sandwich and kind of meats and cheeses they got. They're going to begin building the stupid sandwich. So we'll see how the game turns out. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they do. And if you ask me, it's quite silly to overreact to something like this, seeing as they've been touting from the beginning that they are one of the most scalable studios in history. They're building their office, their studio as such was built to scale with contractors in mind, and we knew 70 people weren't going to build a AAA or quadruple A title, quote unquote. Hey, Microsoft are also enabling console streaming for next generation games on your old Xbox One from 2013. Now, this is finally available for some people in the Insider program. You can now pick up and play without downloading titles, just like we had talked about years ago on RDX. You can also stream games that are, too demanding for old hardware. Games like Flight Simulator, for example, will be streamable on your Xbox One, and you'll be able to play these before you know it. If you're not in the Inside program, you probably don't have a ton longer to wait. It is no replacement for a native system, but it is access to 50 plus million more customers on the base consoles, and also an option for those of you that don't mind streaming so much. Now, another part of a dashboard update that a lot of you are going to have access to is Dolby Vision. Yes, the best standard of HDR. It is a paid licensed standard on behalf of the manufacturers, not the consumer. That's why it is less common. It also is a bit more demanding. HDR10 is the free standard and the one most of you are probably familiar with, though a lot of TVs out there don't actually support HDR, even though they say they do on the box. They are just 8-bit panels that do 400 nits, and when people turn HDR on those TVs, the games look worse, they look washed out. I get it, trust me, I get it. You know, maybe you don't even care. Maybe it was all about the money and the value. Yes, you do save money buying TVs like that. Definitely, for sure. However, if you were like me and you just didn't know, right, and you're wondering why things look worse, that's why. If that's the case, if you've got a Samsung 6 Series, middle-of-the-range TV, one that you paid, you know, hey, a couple $100 for, you didn't really notice that it's particularly bright or colorful. Maybe it was compared to your old one, but maybe not compared to your best friend Billy's TV, who, you know, he's got a really, really good TV. And look, I'm making fun of myself here. The first 4K TV I bought was a Samsung 6300 75-inch. It was a $2,000 TV, and it said HDR on the box, but it should have just had a big L on it because it doesn't have an 8-bit panel. It did 400 or 500 nits, didn't have a wide color gamut. I didn't know anything about TVs back then. I asked the Best Buy guy, hey, does this have HDR? And of course he said, yeah. And he didn't know. He didn't know, right? So again, they are allowed to market you these boxes. I paid that much because it was years ago, but at the, you know, again, if you notice colors get washed out, if it looks worse with HDR on, just consider trying to turn off HDR10, booting up a game, and seeing how your games look. You might notice that your colors are returning to the game. It's more saturated. It looks better. That's probably because the HDR10 should not be even selected. Auto HDR should not be selected. You should just turn it off on those TVs. Your games will look better. But if you got a real HDR panel, a 10-bit panel, and it does 1,000 nits or close, and you've got a wide color gamut, turn this stuff on, including Dolby Vision. Now, mine's not currently on because the capture card industry has just said, well, we're done, I guess. They don't want to update to 2.1, or maybe they can't figure out how to make this stuff work through the capture card and maintain VRR, and how would you capture that and make it an even division refresh rate for maybe displays that don't have that kind of stuff. I'm not sure. Point is, I'm running through a capture card, so I don't even get to use half this crap anyway. I gotta test it out separately. But this is where you would select it. Something else you can do is go to video fidelity and go to color depth, 30 bits per pixel, 10-bit panel, because as far as I'm aware, there is no OLED that is 12-bit right now. They're all 10-bit. Everything on the planet is pretty much 10-bit. So put it to 10-bit, it's going to downsample it anyway, and then put it to PCRGB. This is more demanding because you get more color information on screen. Everyone I've helped out with this, at least on an OLED, has said their games have looked even better than before, which is hard to believe. Especially if you've got an OLED and you've seen this, like, I can attest to it. I swear by this. I've done it on all of my OLEDs, and I can tell you firsthand, it works on B7. It works on C9. It works on CX. It does require more bandwidth from that port and that HDMI cord. It does look better, and it provides more color information. It even fixes some of the HDR sliders in games. Those on OLED and maybe some other displays that you can't get dark enough, or the symbol's still there, or you can't get light enough, the symbol's still there. This has remedied that for a few games for me, and it made the games look better. But yeah, that part is not new. It's been there for quite a while. The Dolby Vision part, however, again, go ahead and select Allow Dolby Vision. Allow Dolby Vision for gaming if you want to try out Dolby Vision for gaming. Honestly, the game that I've tried it on, which was in preview, I wasn't impressed. But you know what? I plan on going back and trying some other games, some that are released and updated for Dolby Vision. But yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this. It's a little bit shorter, and I just wanted to kind of get a video out today. Felt like it, wanted to get ahead of the curve and get some information to you guys, because you know what? I love doing this, and I love showing off this really good looking gameplay. Look at Jedi Fallen Order. This game running on Xbox Series X still blows my mind to this day, and it's just so awesome to have this kind of experience on a gaming console. And hopefully, a gaming console many of you will be able to find this holiday. There are still shortages like crazy, so let me know if you've been able to get one. If you haven't been able to get one, I talked about this at the end of my last video. You know, I get it. I get the anger that people have, but at the end of the day, I can only be myself, be honest, and tell you, you're going to love every single second of it when you do get one. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on the topics video. Of course, if you ended up liking this video, hit the like button, subscribe. I can't say it enough. Thank you so much for what you guys do. It seriously means a lot. And the sources, as always, are linked down below. Jedi Fallen Order. If you have not tried this game, please do yourself a favor. Play the game and get your mind blown. And if the combat's hard, just remember to block right before the enemy attack, unless they're red. You know, hey, it's just super rewarding combat. A lot of fun. And I think a lot of people can agree with that. The game running in performance mode via the options menu on Series X and with VRR, even on the Xbox One X with the performance mode, it looks great. So, again, let me know your thoughts down below. Links for the sources down below, patron, channel members, and everything else below. Check out Last RDX. We had a blast talking about all of the weird monopoly opinions regarding Microsoft and so much more. Shout out to Nano Polymath for doing all the timestamps and hooking me up with a lot of these topics. And of course, all the rest of you that do message and all that good stuff. You guys are amazing. You keep me going and, just appreciate it. So, I'm Dealer. I'll see you in the next one.